Hello, my name is Lee Gulledge. I'm an author, artist, and teacher, and I'm here to introduce my newest graphic novel to you, The Dark Matter of Mona Starr. You might be familiar with some of my previous books. There's Page by Page, another graphic novel about a redhead girl from Virginia who moved to New York, because I'm not good at making things up. And then Will and Wit is more of an ensemble story about facing our fears. Then my last book is more of a inspirational activity interactive book. So it features my favorite drawing activities. Because also I started off my career as a public school art teacher. I was a middle school art teacher here in Virginia. So it's pretty interesting to me to now come full circle as a teaching artist and teaching through story rather than in the classroom setting, because actually the kids listen to me a lot more now. But new character Mona, she's definitely my depressive side, and she's more personal and more vulnerable than any of the other books, because I really wanted to challenge myself to model strength through vulnerability and how to, it's almost like a self-help book really, because it's showing Mona dealing with her matter, which is how I personify depression. This is one of the original pages from the book, just so it's easier to see. So I personify it as almost a spilled ink bottle on the page. So everything else in the book is like super duper gray. And like my other work, I like to show the inner worlds using metaphors a lot of the time to express what my characters are feeling, because I feel like words were not my first language, but I think in pictures. So I think comics is a really interesting way to explore expressing this content, because like I would say for years, like, oh, I'm sorry I tripped into a puddle of sad the other day, but then thinking, well, how would I actually draw what it's like to trip into a puddle of sad, because that's what I'd always use as the metaphor for when I sort of had an unexpected mood drop. I'd be great one minute and then like not the next. So this book was actually it taught me a lot about even how I work and how to find hope and healing in what's going on, and to notice the patterns of when my matter is getting to me. So Mona's story is very much about chronicling what her matter is. She decides to be logical, which is something I do also with my different emotions. It's like, okay, how can I label this? How can I study this? How can I give it form in order to understand it so it's not just this invisible force controlling me? So thankfully she finds healing. She works with a therapist, which I really wanted to see normalized in a young adult story. She makes a self-care plan, which I'm so passionate about with the book that I actually include it in the back. So I have my self-care plan and then a blank one to encourage readers to make their own. Because I think this book is designed for other sensitive, creative weirdos like myself who, it can be a little overwhelming, this overstimulation of the world, especially right now. And I feel like everybody is experiencing what it's like to be a highly sensitive person with heightened emotions and no armor. So I'm hoping that through her story, I could model different ways to deal with these emotions, to reach out to other people for help. There's a very strong partner love story between Mona and new girl Haley, who is a cellist in the school orchestra. So here's when Mona falls in partner love with her. Bing! Because I feel like when I've been really down the well, what's helped me the most is having partners to pull me back out. And partner is your partner in art. It's a word I use a lot because I need to reframe what love is in my life, because if I only focus on romantic love, there's so many other kinds that I need in my support system. So I also there's a story with a mind-body connection, because Mona's like me, where she gets a mass in her intestines because, she's holding on to all this stress. And I feel like I was really excited to just open up through her story about what I've been going through as a sensitive person trying to navigate in the world. So I really hope that young people can find some wisdom and some comfort in her book right now. And without the in-person opportunities to get her out there, to connect with librarians and teachers and readers in person, I hope that using virtual methods, I can still get her out there, because I feel like she really, like, this is what she's here for. Like, this is the moment. So I'm actually doing a virtual book tour to replace all my lost events for, for this 8-week book tour that I had scheduled so lovingly. So I'm doing them on Facebook Live. I'm doing a series of different workshops and panels and presentations. Next week is a book launch party. So I hope you'll consider tuning in. It's facebook.com, and I'm Lee Gulledge. You can also find me at whoislauralee.com if you'd like some more info. And I also have resources on there on the learning section of my website, where I have a PDF of my self-care plan and like a discussion guide for page by page. Soon I'll be adding a discussion guide for Mona and some sample activities from Sketchbook Dare, since I know there's a lot of kids who are at home right now and need more activities to do. So I'm hoping to contribute to this broader conversation in graphic medicine, which is this emerging subset of comics, the subgenre of stories about health and healing, which I think is really exciting, that it takes a lot of us talking about these invisible forces that are affecting us, not infecting, affecting us. Because I think that I can talk about my personal experience, using different metaphors and imagery, but this is a broader conversation. So I'm excited that storytellers are sort of helping curate these conversations of what it means to be a human and to adapt to change and, learn how to manage all the emotions that are going on. So, yeah. So I hope you'll consider checking out Mona. Thank you.